Hi, my fellow Virgos. Welcome to your reading for February 2021. This is going to be for Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, as always. Those who were intuitively guided to the channel, probably your spirit guides nudging you. Maybe you never even heard of me before. Welcome, and thank you for paying attention to your intuition that comes directly from your guides. When you pay attention to the signs, more signs come to you very quickly. So, and acknowledge them. At least I do. I acknowledge that I received that sign. And it just kind of shows you your next step in a way. So anyways, welcome. You may be checking on a Virgo, and if so, remember your spirit guides know you're here. So they're going to try to get messages to you. Be open to that, I hope. And let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to start with our Mother Mary Oracle deck. We'll read it in the end, but I like to see how it fits in your reading. They always fit in the reading. It's like, I feel like they give us the highest advice. All my decks are always pre-shuffled, but I like to shuffle with you here. Don't mind my hands, I burnt myself cooking. And I didn't do my nails. Sorry, guys. I felt like going au naturel. Okay. Let's begin. Remember just to calm your mind when you go into a reading. I think you should just let go of the outcome because I feel like Divine tells us in almost every reading that, if we try to control something too much or something has to be exactly the way I want it to be, and Virgo, we're good at that, right? Then, a sign can come in and you can be like, eh. So that's why I say just go with the flow. All right, let's see what we have here. Grace. Well, that kind of fits that. I do feel like there's someone's name out there is also Grace. There's a Grace out there, a Gracie. I am filled with the same beauty, poise, and divine perfection as all of God's other creatures. So if I'm not feeling worthy, if I'm feeling small, this is a reminder, and we'll read it, but this is a reminder that, in God's eyes, you're perfect. Just the way you are. Just the way you are. But our human eyes, right, we see differently. We don't see sometimes ourselves as divine. So anyways, there's much more to that, but that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. So we'll go ahead and put that there. Let's go ahead and bring in the Tarot of Dreams. These are cards I just got last month. Used them for the first time for January's readings. Mid-January, actually, not the beginning of January. And there's still a lot of cards that I have yet to see, because I like to see them with you. I bless them, all that, but I don't know. I like to be surprised. Okay, let's give them a cut. And let's begin with the Tarot. For many of us, spring is almost here. Almost. I personally feel like time is flying. I remember winters being very long, and for some reason, I feel like we're kind of flying through it. Okay, let's see what we have. So we open with the King of Wands. I feel like we got a lot of people here already. Potentially an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. King of Wands, he looks very serious. We have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups to me is a couple different things. It can mean different things in different readings. But ultimately, what it always means is with the Page of Cups, you have to, when it comes to love, it has to start with you, right? It has to, and that just means you have to learn to love yourself. Just like I was saying earlier, it's maybe seeing, I'm seeing my faults as stumbling blocks when actually they're like my uniqueness and what makes me stand out. So anyway, this can also be a younger water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. They're all looking at me right now. Look at this. We have the Page of Swords. It's going to be a strange reading. I can feel it. I'm feeling it's going to be like mystical. So, Page of Swords. It's learning who you are. Learning about yourself and all that you are. Learning your truth. Learning how to stand in your truth, right? Not back down from what you know to be true. It's learning to communicate. Some of you may just be taking an active look at all parts of yourself and saying, like, I'm going to not perfect myself because, we can never reach perfection. I don't know, but I feel like, it's like as you learn to love yourself more, there's like a part of you that emerges that maybe you're not even aware of. It's like your soul starts to, I don't know, like radiate. And I don't know, the energy I'm feeling like is it makes you very alluring type energy. And, maybe that's the mystical energy I was feeling. Anyways, let's keep going. Now we have another king. We have the King of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's like 2 men and 2 boys. Okay, well, let's keep going. They feel like they're all in the present moment because it's like they're all looking at me, and not in all decks are they looking straight at you. Many times they're not. The Page of Cups is the only one that's like leaning towards the past a little, because this can be someone of a younger time also. It can also be children. Well, let's find out. It almost feels like I have 2 halves of the table, and on this half of the table, I have someone who may have been, someone who was ego-driven, and listen, it probably served them at some time, but it could be, too much of it, or the type that, just assumes that they're always right? Even when they're not, even when you know that they're not, right? But they're the kind of don't back down from it. I feel like now this person, for whatever reason, I don't know yet, is starting to look at how little he gives emotionally, how little he gives out emotionally. Now, there could be a million reasons why. Maybe he's afraid to receive it back. But anyways, I feel like it's just someone who's looking at that and then learning maybe how to become more compassionate and empathetic, right? Normally a wand, they're intuitive and they move, intuitively. But one of the qualities is they can be too much in their ego. So they have that ultimate energy of being able to truly follow their intuition, seeing the signs, and being led through life, so to speak. But then the ego pops up. I don't know. And then I feel like on the other side here, I have someone who is now learning, truly about themselves, their authentic self. And, I feel like they found themselves. They appreciate, I have a feeling it's you, like now appreciating who you are and what you have to say, because they feel like what you have to say is important. But you had to learn, it's almost like the art of communication. And I feel like that is what happens. The growth is there right off the bat. So I feel like this side, this is them now in the energy. Hey, listen, I've been there. And now, I know that I used to wear a mask or what have you, or I would allow myself to go to someone's lower energy instead of, and why? Because, sometimes it's can be a lack of self-confidence. But that can be because of things your parents told you. It can be a million different things. Um, but nonetheless, it makes me act a certain way that is truly not who I am. Now, when I say me, I mean you. Um, or them, whoever this is. Um, so I do, anyways, I feel like as someone who has found themselves, who now when I look in the mirror, it's not even about my looks anymore because I'm so much more than that. I'm realizing that, I'm a wealth of knowledge. Um, and listen, that knowledge can only come from the past, right? You can only experience the knowing versus the not knowing, right? You have to seek that truth. And so here you have. And I kind of feel like this energy here, I don't know, maybe there's a few here, but I feel like it's the other side. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like there's a fence between these groups of people. Almost like a father and son and a father and a son. But I also feel like it was the way I used to be and the way I am now. I don't know. I'm interested. We have the Nine of Cups. Well, that's someone loving their life. That's someone who sees no problem. Like, what? Nothing wrong with my life. My life is good. It is independent energy. It doesn't have to be, but it is. And, it is, it's feeling emotionally fulfilled. Interesting. It's coming under this King of Wands. So I almost feel like this King of Wands, if there's change happening, he may have been, gone kicking and screaming because it's almost like he's saying, but wait a minute, my life is good the way it is right now. It could be someone who wasn't willing to make commitments. Maybe they're very passion driven. We'll see. But anyway, okay, let's keep going. We have the Knight of Swords. This is kind of crazy. Interesting. And the Knight of Swords is heading into the Nine of Cups. It's almost like the Knight of Swords is bringing a message in to this perhaps king. Let's keep going. Knight of Swords again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have a lot of swords. We have the Page, the Knight, and the King. The only one we don't have is the Queen. But we do have the Empress. We have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords under that Page of Swords. Well, to me that kind of makes sense because, earlier, it's like I was feeling earlier energy of being afraid to be myself or being afraid to speak my truth. All of that. And what does that do? Well, that creates a barrier between you and life, right? It's almost the acceptance of where I'm at, even though where I'm at is not where I want to be. Sometimes, if you live in the uncomfortableness for so long, it's almost like you become comfortable in it, right? So therefore, that makes me afraid to take chances, change things, right? But it's exactly what needs to happen in at the same breath, right? Because if you think about it, if this is your soul that now wants to kind of lead here, the Eight of Swords is not going to exist, right? It's almost like the soul can't lead until those eight swords are dropped, that barrier is dropped. It's almost a difference of, and I know, like we live life and, um, we've been hurt, so we don't want to get hurt again, right? So we avoid, right? But at the same time, I feel like if we look at it differently and be like, okay, I loved and I have hurt, you know, there's only one way I could truly embrace the like real love, and that is to know the opposite of it, right? When your heart is broken, boy, you notice the difference of like when I am truly in love and when I am over here broken. Um, what's my point? My point, well, my point is, I guess, our perspective, right? Because it's saying that, like, I feel like our guides are saying, of course your heart gets broken. Yes, that's acknowledged. And even the time to heal, to heal. But your soul is not here to then just stay in that energy. So the soul doesn't shut down to more love. The soul is more aware now, right? So, if I've been attracting lower energy, then I'm aware of the energy I'm sending out. So I'm starting to really be aware of me and listen, the power that I have to make or break, I guess, my life, right? Um, hmm, I don't know, but I feel like it's in the perspective saying, um, we remember the heartache, but we remember the love that was in between and all that feeling. And, I don't know. And I think the realization to know that, listen, very few of us are only with one person. There's different love interest. And some of that is karma. It's the energy I'm putting out. I'm getting stuck in this lower energy and I keep bringing that back to me. Or it's soulmates that are coming in, and not all soulmates are meant to life or to last your whole life. They're meant to come in at intervals, and each has a valuable lesson for you and you to them, right? If you're in a state of awareness, and I feel like over here, that's exactly what this king is, and I feel like the king is representing anyone who is starting to understand and starting to become aware of, first of all, their power in creating their life. And like, this is no joke, right? Like, you really have the power to create. And, I don't know. I feel like that's powerful. Okay, let's keep going. Look at that. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So, it's like the Ace or the King of Pentacles. Again, I feel like male, female, that doesn't really matter. I feel like this is about how far I've come. And the king, and think about the King of Swords, who truly lives within his own authentic skin. Listen, if something comes towards him, let's say this Ace of Pentacles comes towards him or her, he knows how to use his sword. He has learned how to use the sword. He's learned how to cut the attachment before, um, if he starts to feel that, wait a minute, this is in lower energy, he knows to use that sword. He doesn't have to take that trip. He can cut the tie immediately. So, but you're very aware of what's in front of you now. So I just, I feel like in this energy, um, if you really are starting to feel awake, I feel like you can trust who's going to come to you, because if you're awake, those swords are down. They're down, right? It's almost like you become the fool. Anyways, I feel like I'm getting off topic, but this is what I feel. So here comes this ace. Ace of Pentacles is what often feels like a blessing that comes into your physical world. Um, It's something that manifests itself. It can be opportunity. It can be many things, but it comes into your physical world. Look at this. Okay, we have the Tower. So it's like who was ever in this Nine of Cups energy, where hey, you know, my life's just fine. Boom. I feel like something shakes it, right? Something's now shaking the foundation of, what used to be happiness. Something is shaking that. And, maybe the reading is going this way, and that is why this king over here, who feels more in his ego, is now moving more into like his emotional house. He has to learn. He's learning, right? He hasn't succeeded yet. But he's learning. Over here, I feel it's the opposite. Like I have learned, and now I'm really starting to have an awakening. And maybe that's why the ace is here. Again, I feel like I'm reading for two different sides here. We have the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Could certainly be another Virgo. You guys know I'm in a double. I'm a Virgo, and I'm living with a Virgo. She's looking right back at that tower. It's interesting, but of all the people on the board, she's the only one who's not looking at me. She's looking right at that tower, right at it. Okay, let's keep going. Wow, with the Ten of Swords. Okay. But look at this. We end with the Empress, and the Empress is coming under the Ace of Pentacles. So, let's talk about it this way. No matter where we began up here, where are we ending up? We're ending up at the Empress energy. So let's think about the Empress. The Empress is someone who has experienced life. She has had her downs, but she's had her ups. If you want to think about her, she's someone who has gone through those cycles. Maybe there will be 9 years, like in the tarot. 9, time to take a final reflection upon where I was, what this cycle was about. Almost like taking courses in school. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I finished that course now, but I haven't graduated yet. So anyways, it's the collective wisdom of all the queens and all their journeys. And I don't feel like it matters the age. I feel like it's probably someone who's an old soul. This is someone who has learned the art of patience, right? Patience. Patience can be glorious. When she's calm, but she's strong. She's calm, but she's strong. She's graceful. And, is it just a female? Probably not. Probably everyone, This is someone who, because of where she's been, has become very compassionate and empathetic, and therefore probably also a great teacher, just naturally. Some of you, it's like you're finding your voice, you're finding the art of communication, and in the Empress, like, baby, just trust it. Almost like, and the ace right above her too, I find it's kind of beautiful. Now, let's not ignore, though, she's right next to the Ten of Swords, with the Eight of Swords right above it. It's almost like the Queen is looking away from that, though. She's looking at the Tower. You know what? I want to bring out the clarifiers because I really want to get into this. Look at this. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun. So, this is good news because this is illumination. And that's certainly what is happening over here. This side is really becoming illuminated. It is about happier times. And, just like I felt early in the reading, like how fast winter is going by. And it's like I can feel that the sun is coming back again, right? Almost like the warmth of the sun is with us. It's beautiful because I feel like it's under and over everything. It is the ruler of Leo. I have to say that. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. I'm so bad at remembering the name of decks. You know, I know what decks open me up, like really open me up. And, you know, some decks, and that's why I try them all. Some decks, you know, you have to dig a little deeper, and sometimes, though, it's a good thing. But I am really loving these two new decks. I actually got a third deck. Them I'm not loving as much. Okay. I don't know why I shuffled there. I normally don't. I feel like I was meant to. Matter of fact, I even said okay. Okay. Let's start at the top. It's really interesting that the Queen of Pentacles is the only one who is looking back at that tower. I don't know. And listen, on one side of her, she's got the Ten of Swords, and the other side of her, she's got the Tower. She's not looking at that Ten of Swords now. She's looking at the Tower, almost like she's examining it. I think she's examining it. And maybe she's learning from it. Because, you know, I feel like she ultimately will be the Empress, right? So this could certainly be someone who's, you know, looking at those towers and examining them. Queen of Pentacles is someone who really can see the details that other people miss. That's why you find a lot of tarot readers are Virgos. And I feel like if you're a Virgo energy, like you either know that you're very intuitive, or you don't, or you think you're not at all. And maybe that's just the way it's supposed to be. But anyway, so, you know, I feel like she's going to break that tower down. She's got no fear towards it. I feel like she's going to break it down. Maybe this is, you know, I've been carrying these 10 swords around for too long. And listen, by the time we get to the 10 of wands or swords, you know, it's like enough is enough. So I feel like this is like doing the work of examining those towers and what these swords are all about and why they keep coming, and finding yourself and finding your own voice and, you know, learning the true art of communication, whatever that means. Ultimately, it's like the universe is bringing in this Ace of Pentacles. And, you know, where do you move from there with the Empress? I just kind of find that beautiful. Okay, anyway, well, look at this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Again, coming over the King of Wands. You know, this is someone who I feel like was quite happy in their life. No complaints. That type of thing, was probably happy a lot. And I do feel like, boom, I do feel like they're affected by that tower. Maybe this Queen of Pentacles is almost manifesting that. You know, or even you know, say I'm cutting ties, that type of thing. But it's very interesting how he gets the Ace of Pentacles also. And I feel like it is because of this tower that it moves him towards the beginning of learning how to find his emotional self. Maybe this is two people who never met yet, and both are receiving the same ace. And in some way, it brings you on the same path, you know? This could be someone you're meeting, and it's kind of showing you their journey and how they're arriving to where they arrived. You know, look at this with the Eight of Swords. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Swords coming over the King of Swords. Interesting. And then we have the Five of Swords. We're going to keep that all on the top line. Let me bring this down a little bit more. So, let's look at this. So, we have two Ace of Pentacles, okay? And again, I'm kind of reading this separately. We have two Aces of Pentacles, and I feel like it's almost like two people receiving that. And it's interesting, beside each Ace of Pentacles is the Eight of Swords on both. I find that interesting. So at that point, and then we have this king over here who, maybe one of the things that he had to overcome was some trust issues. And I'm looking over here, it's almost like this king has kind of built a wall around his heart. And that's what he's learning. He's learning how to bring down the swords that are around his heart. That's what's happening to him. And over here, it's like finding everything about myself and the importance of me and learning to love me, learning communication. It's like two different paths being shown to me at the same time. This King of Swords is showing me that part of this growth was learning to let go of toxic things and toxic people. If I can't trust it, then what good is it to me, right? If it causes me trust issues, why do I want to live in it, right? This is my life, my lifetime, my lifetime. This is one life that I'm given. And, I got to start thinking about the characters I want on my path, right? If I can't trust you, then you are no good to me. And that kind of sounds egotistical. I don't mean it that way. I mean, like, this is you realizing that. It's really being specific in how your thinking can be. So I do feel like, the sun has illuminated to this side what just is not serving them anymore, and even like what energy I keep taking on, because the Ten of Swords, like, boom, 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 they keep hitting me. When do I duck? When do I? What you're doing here as the Queen of Pentacles, look right at that tower, and I break it down. I start to know what I want. This is what I want. Maybe I'm someone who then tells this king up here who, hey, I'm okay, like, I love you, but I'm happy being single, but you feel different, right? Not that you feel different, it's just like you're saying to yourself, or you're saying to him, like, listen, we're just on two different paths. Do you know what I mean? And that's just that. And I have so long to be here on this life, in this lifetime. So, I'm going to go. You got to go. And I don't know. That's what feels like the tower to him. Of course, you can change the sexes, but that's what feels like the tower, which then moves him into the energy. It illuminates his emotional, like the walls that he has built, or she. So, okay, let's keep going. Wow. Nonetheless, both have an Ace of Pentacles. So both have an opportunity for something. We have, well, hello, the Lovers, um, card of Gemini, number one. The meaning of the card is a head over heart decision. That's what I kind of feel like the king is going through, right? Maybe I give them or they give me. It can be whatever way. And listen, this can be in my work. It doesn't even have to be love, though I should say, here is the Lovers. Um, like a ultimatum. Just because, like, listen, you either want me or you don't. And it's okay that if you don't, right? It's your prerogative. But that doesn't mean that I should spend my life bowing to you, waiting for you, right? No, 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 because you're moving into the Empress energy now. So it's almost like you're saying, listen, I'm on my way. And if you want me again, this is now like what is required. Like you're moving into a different energy and they can feel it and they know it. And it would require them to be able to match your energy. And that's exactly the way it should be, right? You should never lower your energy for someone else. If they can't meet you at yours, then stop, think, and decide what to do at that point. Anyways, here's the Lovers. And coming over the Nine of Cups. So do I feel like, whoever's in this Lovers, do I feel like it's two people who know that they could really be good together? Um, maybe really feel connected. Listen, maybe this is talking about an earlier time, and listen, we can meet certain people and it just not be the time. There were lessons that each of us had to learn individually. We each had our own paths, and it can always come back together anyway. But because I feel like this is almost going full circle, we're not there yet. We have the Hierophant. Well, excuse me. Card of Taurus. The Hierophant is your belief system, your faith, what you believe in. Um, the Eight of Swords is above that, so this is definitely the feeling of someone. Again, I feel like it's the king over here who was living like in the lower type energy, earthly type ways. And listen, yeah, it's fun, right? We all go through that period, and yes, it's fun. But that fun, as we mature, you know, and again, that's each person's personal choice. But I feel like it's their higher self. Um, it's their remembrance, and it's connected to this Lovers. So I almost feel like it's this king is realizing that if they want to be with you, and again, how we got to this point, I feel like almost like I gave him an ultimatum, or in some way, maybe you brought the tower where it disrupted their life, knowing or not knowing, I don't know. Um, but nonetheless, I feel like both, again, had this Eight of Swords. Both have the Sun. I feel like that's for everyone here. Both have the Ace of Pentacles, an opportunity, a new opportunity coming into their physical atmosphere, right? Connected to the Lovers. And that is to connect. Can we cut that tie? Of course we can, but this isn't the kind where we just easily cut it. We're like, aha, we made a mistake. No, there's something. There's something there, but that doesn't mean you wait your whole life, right? Let someone meet your energy. Um, and you know what? I feel like, and therefore they do. Like, if I never expect it, then why? It's like, okay, it's fine. I'm happy right here. And if I never expect that I'm expected to move forward, perhaps I don't. I mean, that's kind of backwards thinking, but I feel like that's the way someone thought it. Whoa. Okay, that's just too many, and it felt more like an accident anyway. Okay. You know, it's like the Queen of Pentacles is saying, listen, you put enough of these swords in my back, and no hard feelings, but I'm moving on. I have learned, you've opened my eyes um, to certain things, and, you know, you caused me to seek more. And because I seeked, I found it, right? I found my soul family who got me to see things for what they truly are, right? Somehow you get the sun to illuminate what it is you need to see. Some of you, and I feel like I keep repeating this, but um, it's almost like um, you're moving to the next dimension. And for them to reach you, there's one requirement. Their energy has to also be able to reach out. And not just because they have to, but because they want to. Okay, we have justice. Interesting. Card of Leo, first of all. This could talk about two people who've gone through divorce, two people who um, are thinking about it, one who is thinking about it. You know, what do we do from here? Could this ever turn around? Do I have to get the divorce? Why, I have to say, and it can be the cutting of the ties, right? Um, Sometimes it can be the end of karma. This could have been part karmic. Um, and maybe some of it was, right? And in that, it is something also to help you expand. Anyway, justice is ultimately about making you feel whole again. But it's coming over the Eight of Swords, so it's requiring you to find a way to drop those swords. And when you do that, and listen, and it may take confronting the tower and these 10 swords, whether I do anything, whether it's connected to anybody at this moment or not. I feel like this is important, almost the immediate payoff, right? I look at these towers, I move into the Empress energy, and the more I'm the Empress, the less I'm afraid, right? Because I feel like I control energy more than it controls me, and I learned that. And that's powerful. We have the Six of Swords. So very interesting because we have the Five of Swords right there, and now we have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords talks about moving to calmer waters. And the way to get there is leaving the toxicity behind, period, whatever it is. Um, but it is about moving to calmer waters. And I also feel like as I start to move in this energy, the momentum picks up very quickly. And what supports it is the Ace of Pentacles. And that's beautiful. So as I make this move, whether it be literally or metaphysically, um, this ace awaits. Well, what else is in my hand? Well, we have the Six of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. Some of you may be moving back home. You know, I feel like, first of all, it's happy thoughts, happy memories. Um, and you're moving towards it, not away from it. You're moving towards it. So for some of you, this could be bringing in really what's a true soulmate. Someone who appreciates all of you, right? Being the Empress here. This can't be any fool. It just can't be. This can be an old friend um, who, listen, I feel like many times we have like a childhood friend who's like a soulmate, and we think of them often. And sometimes we remain friends or we become friends again. And I feel like we're meant to help each other. Think about that. There's certain people that help you through certain things. I feel like we're each other's soulmates. Anyways, is this romantic? Well, we'll see. Someone could be telling this king that I'm leaving you, I'm divorcing you, and I'm going back home. And it could be because there's someone there. I don't know if they're waiting or you're just thinking that. Kind of like knowing that. But yet we do have the Lovers on the other side. Certainly could be a marriage that can go back to the way it was. But it takes sacrifice, you know. Okay, let's look at the Tower. Excuse me. Look at that. Look at that. Flipped itself over. Flipped itself over on top and landed on top just like that, like I was the magician. 3 of Swords coming over the Tower. You know, it couldn't make more sense, right? Right. 3 of Swords, first of all, talks about past energy. And again, the Queen is looking right at it. You know, so these towers, maybe there's 3 of them. You know, they cut you right through the heart. Clearly. Almost like you broke my heart so many times. We have the Knight of Wands. I don't know. I feel like someone younger may have come in for this Queen. Something moves her in a more passionate direction, whether it be a person, a feeling. She's definitely feeling connected to her intuition. And whatever was the past. Jeez. Okay. You know, I feel like it must change, or because you're changing. Anyway, let's keep going. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Look at that, 10 of Pentacles, and underneath it is the 8 and the 10 of Swords. That is not easy. And look at this, we have the Fool. It's just kind of beautiful. You know, I feel like for someone who's married, and maybe the divorce is, I'm thinking of it, and do I think there's a chance that the other person will change? Something will open in them that'll cause them to look at it. I do. I think there's a real chance here. But in no way do I feel like this is about me sitting around and waiting about anything. If somebody wants to be with me, listen, you know, then be with me, right? Lovers, be with me then. But I feel like there's been heartache attached here. Anyway, but we have the Fool. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, right? At one time, it felt there was a lot of stability and safety in there. Some of you, this can talk about literally you're moving back home, you know, where the family lives or that type of thing. You're moving for where there feels like there's more opportunity, yet I feel like there's perhaps someone or just the feeling when I think about it makes me happy, that type of thing. Because we have the Fool, and that is, first of all, that is the willingness and the ability to let go of the past. The Fool, you know, and that's why we're born with amnesia, right? We're not meant to remember everything about every life, because we would be too overwhelmed. But what we can know is that we have been here before. We have been through, you know, our journeys have been, you know, I mean, hard. And we have been warriors, you know, and that means that we still are. Just because we don't remember it doesn't mean we can't conjure it up inside of ourselves, because that's just what the Empress is. She knows that. Anyway. And then we have the 2 of Cups. And we have the 4 of Cups. Look at this. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. Okay. This is going to be a long reading. It probably already is, but I feel like it needs to be. It's almost like these stories are important that I tell. So first of all, I want to say the Ace of Cups is coming under, it was, before I moved it, coming under the energy of the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. All these swords. But it's showing us that it was based in love, right? It was, there's love. Let's just say that because it's supporting energy of it. Now, then you have the Wheel. So can this be doing it again with someone again? It possibly could, but I have to say, I feel like you being the Emperor, it is, to me, it's all about, are they going to, hey, listen, I'm not playing games, and I don't mean to be so in your face type of energy, but like, I'm not playing games. I know what's important in life. And I'd rather give here where it's needed than give to someone who, only tends to hurt me, right? It doesn't make sense for me to do that. I'll give here where, it's returned and where it feels good. So I don't know why I'm saying all this other than, this may be a conversation. This may be what ignites somebody to, see themselves and then the little that they give. And does it change them around? Well, it's based on the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Cups is here. The Lovers is here. Um, and and I feel like it's twofold, because I feel like for some of you, this could be talking about a journey where you're going back home, or um, where you're moving is conjuring up happy moments or happy thoughts. Let me put it that way. It could even be with the Four of Cups, is dreaming about, feeling and dreaming about a soulmate energy and it being on this new path. That could certainly be too. Um, the only thing I want to say that gives me any type of a feeling of a warning is down here where the Empress has the Ten of Wands, right? And the Empress has learned, what is my responsibility and what responsibility do I take on of others, where I always feel it's necessary, right? And I feel like one of the lessons you got to learn is if you keep taking on, it's almost like you take on their problems, and therefore they really never get the chance to learn the lesson. Sometimes, and this is hard, but sometimes you got to let people fall, because it's when they seek the light, when changes happen. Not when we can seek the light and we can change ourselves, but everybody has their right to, and maybe even their journey of needing to seek that light themselves, to learn, right, to come to this higher energy. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot going on. I feel like there's been a lot of growth over here, and therefore I feel like there's opportunity. Whether it's with someone else again, I feel like if it is, I'm not going to repeat myself, but don't be fearful. It's like, if they match your energy, great. Um, because there may have been a deep connection, but then again, I feel like there's some who, and I feel like you may already have this person in mind for whatever reason. Maybe you've been in contact. Um, I feel like you're moving towards them. And you may have the realization that, what, this feels like a soulmate, um, energy. And I feel like more when I say that, because this could feel soulmate too, and it probably was, but this is soulmate that maybe is meant to, listen, you have the Ten of Pentacles, go to the Ten of Pentacles. Rooted in time. You know what I mean? If I think of your, for some reason, I'm getting a picture of it's like a craftsman home, and there is a grandma and grandpa, and I feel like, you're 80 and 90 years old, and there's just love around you. And it's because, it's because of it's because of you. It's because you went through this energy and learned on who you are authentically and learned your power and how you can create. And if you can't take this ride with me and be connected, then it's okay. You just don't kind of fit here right now. Anyway, I feel like I'm going all over the board, but yet I feel like some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the only warning is, listen, make sure they match your energy, because this can be doing it again, but you don't want to do it again in the same energy. That's all. That's all. So, and I don't think the Empress would anyway. The Empress has come to that point. The Empress is in no rush. I take my time, right? I take my time. I'm the Empress. I feel the energy. That's what I do first. I feel it. I listen, not just to what you're saying, but what you're not saying. I pay attention to your actions right now, today, right? Don't tell me that you're going to be this, just be this. So I feel like you come to the table differently, which, listen, that can only bring that kind of energy back to you. If they don't meet that, boom. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. But let's read the card. I need a drink. I feel like I've been talking. Okay. Grace. You receive this card because Mother Mary sees your graceful beauty, and she wants to help you to see this in yourself, too. This is a message about increasing your self-confidence and sense of self-worth. As you feel better about yourself, your actions will shift in positive ways, which will create a healthier climate for you and your loved ones. Today, envision how Mother Mary would handle each situation you face. Emulate her composure as you gracefully embrace everything that comes your way. Your grace will naturally exclude I can never say that word, a magnetism that draws wonderful people and experiences to you. My God, did that feel like this fit the reading? I almost feel like I want to read it again. This is a message about increasing your self-confidence and self-worth. As you feel better about yourself, your actions will shift in a positive way, which will create a healthier climate for you and your loved ones. Today, envision how Mother Mary would handle each situation you face. Emulate her composure as you gracefully embrace everything that comes your way. Your grace will naturally include a magnetism that draws wonderful people and experiences to you. So weird, and I fumble on certain words. Anyway, guys, I feel like I'm just going to leave it there. I trust that these messages are going to reach who they're meant to reach. They feel very deep to me. They feel on a very deep soul level. I don't feel like I'm even talking to the human you. We're talking soul to soul. That's what I feel. So I hope you receive it that way. Your comments will let me know. Anyway, thank you for everything, guys. You know how much I love you. You're truly in my thoughts and prayers every night. Truly. are, period. You just are. And I always say that I'm grateful for you because I am very grateful. So thank you for just keeping the channel alive. And thank you for your comments. They really light me up. I just love reading it. It's almost like you help me finish the book. Your comments help me finish the book. You know what I mean? So I love you. I will see you soon. Bye bye.